Sheikh Hamdan, a royal story written in silence. In the city of glass and dawn, where towers rise like prayers, there walks a man without noise. Sheikh Hamdan moves as wind, not seen yet felt by all. His crown is quiet. His steps leave no echo. Gold waits behind his eyes, but his gaze chooses earth. Sand remembers his name. Silence follows him, not as absence, but as a language spoken by patience, spoken by listening. He learns from the desert, how strength bends, how power rests, how storms pass, without asking permission. In halls of marble, he speaks less than shadows, yet every pause carries weight. Courts lean closer to hear what is not said. His story is not shouted. It is carried in early mornings, in horses breathing mist, in falcons circling sky. The people know him by what he withholds, by mercy before command, by humility before pride, by duty before desire. He wears leadership like a simple cloak, light on the shoulders, heavy in meaning, never dragged on the ground. When the city sleeps, his thoughts remain awake, counting futures, measuring responsibility, balancing heart and throne. The sea listens to him. The dunes reply. Each grain of sand keeps his confidence. Each wave guards his vow. He does not chase applause. He waits for understanding. Time becomes his ally. Truth becomes his companion. Silence becomes his voice. In moments of decision, he looks inward, where ancestors whisper, where legacy breathes, where honor stands tall. His strength is restraint. His fire is control. His victory is calm. His courage is choice. His weapon is wisdom. Children learn from his walk. Elders trust his stillness. The city mirrors his calm. Even chaos slows. When he passes through, there are stories unsaid, kept safe in his chest, because some truths grow stronger when protected by quiet. The world searches for noise. He offers balance. The world demands speed. He chooses direction. The world expects drama. He delivers steadiness. This is not a tale of battle. It is a tale of presence, of being firm without force, of ruling without raising voice, of leading without breaking trust. In silence, he builds tomorrow, brick by brick, value by value, promise by promise, without ceremony. Sheikh Hamdan remains a royal story written in silence, read by those who feel deeply, understood by those who watch carefully, remembered by those who value calm. And the city continues, breathing under his watch, safe in the quiet, guided by restraint, held by unseen strength. Morning arrives without announcement. Light touches the city gently, as if learning from him. How to enter with respect, how to wake a nation softly. He walks among ordinary moments, tea steam rising, horses shifting weight, pages turning in quiet rooms. Time slows to match his breath. Responsibility sits beside him, not as burden, but as companion, trained by discipline, guided by remembrance. Every choice carries a horizon. He studies distance, not the applause nearby, but the road ahead, where futures wait patiently. The desert teaches him endurance. The sea teaches humility. The sky teaches perspective. Each lesson stored carefully, never displayed, always practiced. His silence gathers people, more than noise ever could, because calm invites trust, and steadiness builds bridges, where shouting only burns paths. In councils of decision, He listens longer than he speaks, allowing truth to surface, allowing fear to settle, allowing wisdom to stand alone. Power rests best when it is not restless, when it does not seek mirrors, when it does not fear shadows, when it knows its source. The city watches quietly, learning a different rhythm, one where progress breathes, one where tradition stands firm, one where speed obeys purpose. He carries history without weight, because he honors it rather than displays it. Ancestors walk beside him, not behind him. In moments unseen, he questions himself, measures intention, checks ego, polishes conscience. This inner work remains invisible, yet it shapes skylines. It guides policies. It steadies hearts. It protects tomorrow. Children play under safe skies. Workers return home with hope. Streets glow with intention, because leadership chose patience over impulse. He understands silence is not empty. It is full of listening, full of restraint, full of awareness, full of readiness. When storms arrive, as they always do, he does not answer with thunder. He becomes shelter, firm, still, present. Trust grows in such ground, slowly, naturally, without force. Roots deep, branches wide. His name travels beyond borders, not as echo, but as assurance, not as spectacle, but as example. Those who study him notice what he avoids: the unnecessary, the excessive, the reckless, the loud. They see a man who chooses alignment between word and action, between promise and delivery, between heart and role. He believes legacy is daily, built in small, consistent acts, kept alive through fairness, strengthened by accountability, protected by humility. Even celebration is measured, joy allowed, pride restrained, gratitude expressed, never exaggerated, because leadership to him is service before spotlight, listening before declaring, preparing before appearing, enduring before enjoying. He understands time, not as enemy, but as teacher, each year sharpening insight, each challenge refining intent. When night returns and the city dims, he remains alert, reviewing the day, learning again. Mistakes are acknowledged. Success is shared. Credit travels outward. Blame stops at his door. This is how trust survives. Dawn returns again, faithful, patient, never demanding applause, and he meets it awake. The city stretches slowly, steel and stone learning gentleness, from a leader who never rushes, never forces, never performs. His days are shaped by intention, not urgency. Each hour given meaning, each moment examined, before it is released into action. He understands that silence matures vision, that quiet sharpens direction, that restraint protects purpose, long after excitement fades. When voices compete for attention, he steps back, allowing truth to rise on its own, allowing falsehood to tire itself, allowing clarity to arrive naturally. Leadership here is a craft, polished daily, through discipline, through consistency, through moral endurance. He chooses what lasts, over what trends, what strengthens, over what entertains, what serves, over what shines. In private moments, there is reflection, long, honest reflection, where ambition is questioned, where conscience remains alert. He asks himself, is this necessary? Is this aligned? With those who trust me, such questions leave no sound. Yet they shape destiny. They redirect futures. They correct paths. Before harm appears, around him institutions breathe steadier. Systems find balance. People feel seen, even when unseen, even when unnamed. Because respect does not require spectacle. It requires reliability. It requires fairness. It requires a leader who remembers faces, not statistics. Time moves forward, but his center remains calm, anchored in values. Older than buildings, stronger than markets, he does not fear complexity. He studies it patiently, breaking it into meaning, returning it as solutions. Clear, measured, durable. Those who follow do not feel pushed. They feel guided. They feel protected. They feel responsible too. This is how trust multiplies. Shared ownership, shared accountability, shared pride, shared future. When challenges rise, as they must, he does not dramatize them. He absorbs pressure, filters noise, and responds with order. Calm spreads from such responses, like shade in heat, like water in drought, like assurance in uncertainty. Even criticism finds no enemy here, only evaluation, only correction, only improvement, without bitterness. Because ego has no throne, service does, and service demands listening. Long after speaking would be easier, the nation grows quietly, not by chance, but by sustained care, by steady hands, by vision protected from haste. He believes greatness matures slowly, like wisdom, like loyalty, like institutions meant to outlive individuals. At night, when lights soften and streets settle, he carries gratitude for trust given, for responsibility held. He knows tomorrow is watching, learning from today, recording decisions, measuring sincerity. So he remains careful, not fearful, deliberate, not distant, present, not loud. Silence remains his companion, not to hide, but to refine, not to withdraw, but to prepare. This royal story does not end. It continues through discipline, through example, through the quiet courage of consistency. Long after words fade, long after